And then finally he said, "Are you asking me for advice?" And I was like, "Yeah, I guess so." And he was like, "What do you got to lose?" It was like, I was 30 something years old, 31, I liked the idea of business ownership, but I had no idea what that meant, like everything you're saying. I didn't know anything about it. Like, how do you do this? And so, talked to a lot of different people and ended up having lunch with my former boss, the firm that I'd left, that I said, probably timing wise, I shouldn't have. I had lunch with him, was picking his brain. The Sieb Tuck is his name. He's still a mentor to me. But I was sitting there and explaining the whole story to him and going back and forth. And he was sitting there listening and nodding. And then finally he said, "Are you asking me for advice?" And I was like, "Yeah, I guess so." And he was like, "What do you got to lose? Just do it. Start your own firm. Like, if it doesn't work, you're that much stronger because of it, right? You've learned that much. You learn those skills. You're that much more valuable. If it doesn't work," he's like, "It's probably going to work, but you don't like your job. You're uncertain. You're not making any money. What do you got to lose?" And that was like, I still to this day remember where we were sitting at lunch having that conversation. Like, okay, that's it. That's what I needed. That was the sort of decision point to me. We're like, all right, I'm going to do this.